Just picture it. It's late. The wind is just absolutely howling outside. And then, poof, the lights flicker and they're gone. The hum of the refrigerator stops. And you're just sitting there in this cold, dark silence.
What you do in that moment has absolutely nothing to do with the storm. It has everything to do with the choices you made before that first snowflake even fell. And to be honest, most people make the wrong one.
So, today we're going to cut right through all that confusion. We're going to show you exactly how to avoid those really costly and sometimes, well, dangerous mistakes people make when the lights go out for good. Okay, Ben, let's just get right to the big one. I see these battery stations everywhere now, right? They look so simple. No noise, no gas. You can just keep it right inside. Seriously, why would anyone still be messing with a big, clunky gas generator? That's the main question, isn't it? And it's all about a trade-off. Think about it like this. The battery station, that's what you want at 2 in the morning when you just need to charge your phone or turn on a lamp and you do not want to go outside in the freezing cold. It's totally silent, it's safe for indoors, it's convenient. But that gas generator, that's what you're going to want when day 3 of the outage hits. Your battery is completely dead and you absolutely need to run your furnace and your refrigerator for hours and hours. One is for short-term indoor convenience, the other is for long-haul outdoor power. And this warning label right here, this tells you exactly why that choice is so critical. Listen, there is absolutely zero compromise on this. Gas generators produce carbon monoxide. It's an invisible killer. You can't see it, you can't smell it, and it can be fatal in minutes. You never, ever run a generator indoors or in a garage or even near a window. The rule is simple. Keep it 20 feet away from your house with the exhaust pointed away. End of story. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And honestly, I was looking at some of those big battery stations, and I was thinking, oh, this is great. I'll just get one of those and I can run my space heater all night to keep a room warm. And Alex, that right there is the single biggest mistake people make when they buy these things. A typical electric space heater, even a pretty small one, is going to draw about this much power, 1,500 watts. Okay, now let's look at a really common, pretty large battery station. This one has a capacity of 2,048 watt-hours. I mean, that sounds like a huge number, doesn't it? But the math doesn't lie. You divide the capacity by the draw, and what you get is a little over 1 hour of runtime. Let me be perfectly clear. That is not a backup plan. That is a false sense of security. Battery stations are fantastic for your electronics. For medical devices, sure, but they are absolutely the wrong tool for electric heat. And this table right here, this highlights the second major mistake people make. Just look at the 2 columns, running watts and starting watts. See, that initial surge of power that you need to get a motor going, like in your fridge or your furnace fan, it can be triple the normal power draw. If your power source can't handle that initial peak load, the appliance won't even turn on. You always have to buy for the starting watts. Wow, okay, this is getting way more complicated than I thought. Can you just give me some specific recommendations? Like, who is each of these for in a real, actual winter storm? All right, let's start with what feels like the industry standard, right? The Honda. Who is this actually for? This one is for somebody who really values reliability and quiet operation. The spec that actually matters here is the CO Minder system. It's basically an automatic shutoff that detects high levels of carbon monoxide, and that adds a really critical layer of safety. And its quietness? That's a huge benefit in a neighborhood in the middle of the night. But the one thing buyers miss? It's a recoil start only. And let me tell you, pulling that cord can be really tough in freezing weather when the oil inside gets thick. Okay, so what if I don't want to compromise? I mean, I need to run my furnace, maybe a well pump, my fridge, basically everything at once. What's the solution for that? For that, you need a beast like this DuroMax. It's got 10,000 surge watts, so it has plenty of power for the big appliances. But here's the spec that really matters in the winter, the electric start. Pushing a button is infinitely better than fighting a recoil cord in the middle of a blizzard. The trade-off, though, is that a machine this powerful really needs to be connected to your home's panel with a transfer switch, and that's a job for an electrician. Yikes, that DuroMax sounds like a pretty serious investment. Are there any options that are a little more budget-friendly but still give you that clean power for electronics? Yep, and this is a pretty good example. The maXpeedingrods unit. It gives you that inverter technology. That's the clean, safe power for electronics at a much lower price point than something like the Honda. It's a value bet. But, and this is important, you have to be aware that it's a newer brand, so it has a less proven long-term track record. The reliability over, say, 5 or 10 years is just less established.
Okay, let's circle back to batteries for a second. Let's say I get it. I understand the limitations and I just want the best option for keeping my internet router, my laptop, and some lights on, all safely inside. What should I be looking for?
This is exactly where a unit like the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max really shines. The key feature to look for here is its LiFePO4 battery chemistry. Look, in simple terms, it's the chemistry that doesn't quit in the cold. It holds its charge and performs way better at low temperatures than older battery types. Plus, it recharges incredibly fast, usually in about 1 to 2 hours from a wall outlet once the power is back. That gets you ready for the next potential outage much quicker.
All right, let's talk about something that sounds pretty serious. You mentioned connecting that big DuroMax generator to run something like a furnace. I'm guessing I can't just run an extension cord for that, right? So how do you actually do that safely? No, you definitely cannot. To power anything that's hardwired like a furnace, you need a proper connection. The safest and, frankly, most common way to do it is with something called an interlock kit. It's basically a $100 piece of metal that a licensed electrician installs right in your breaker panel. And what it does is it physically stops the main power from the street and the power from your generator from ever being on at the exact same time. And this is why that is so incredibly important. Some people, they try to get around this by using what's called a suicide cord. It's a cord with 2 male ends to plug their generator directly into a dryer outlet or something. Let me be completely unambiguous here. This practice, it's called backfeeding, is illegal and it's unbelievably dangerous. And this image right here shows you exactly why. Backfeeding sends all that power from your generator back out onto the utility lines that a utility worker thinks are dead. You could literally electrocute somebody who is just trying to restore your power. This isn't a suggestion, it's a life or death warning. For powering your furnace, an interlock kit installed by a pro is the only safe way to go. Period. Wow, okay, so after all of that, let's just get to the bottom line. I'm a homeowner, there's a bad storm in the forecast, what do I actually buy? It really comes down to 2 logical strategies. Look, the ideal solution, if you have the budget for it, is to get both. Get a gas generator for the heavy lifting, the furnace, the fridge, and keep it safely outdoors. And then get a smaller battery station for charging your phones and laptops safely inside. But if you can only pick one, you have to decide your number 1 priority. Is it keeping the heat on for multiple days, or is it keeping your devices charged safely overnight? Your answer to that question tells you exactly which one to buy. So the whole point is to really think through what you need before you're sitting in the dark, because once that power goes out, you are stuck with the choices you've already made. And the question you have to ask yourself is, have you bought a real solution or just a very expensive, false sense of security?